Hi, welcome to today's Agronomy Minute with Mark. We're out here in Lac La Parle County in a cornfield taking basal stalk nitrate tests. So the end of season stalk nitrate test is a great way to get a scorecard for your nitrogen management for this season. We can't take the test until after black layer, when the corn plant is dead and is no longer capable of translocating any nitrates from that lower stalk up to the ear. And it's a great way to determine if we had a deficiency in nitrogen or not. As harvest progresses across Minnesota this first week of October, inevitably we always run into cornfields that just didn't yield like we thought they would. A field that's 20 bushel off the mark from its other fields, and the grower wants to know why is this field such yield limiting. And one of the first things that I like to do is take a stalk nitrate test to determine if we had adequate nitrogen fertility in that field. Nitrogen is the most yield limiting nutrient for a corn, and checking the box to say, nope, we did not have a nitrogen deficiency, let's move on to another possible cause for yield loss. Or yes, if we did have a nitrogen deficiency, that can help explain why some fields are off. Even though I don't anticipate a lot of nitrogen deficiencies this year based on the lack of rainfall across much of the state, all weather's local, and you never know until you actually take the test. To actually take a stalk nitrate test, it's very simple. I use little hedge trimmers. I've got 2 pieces of tape. The bottom piece marks 6 inches above the surface of the soil. The next piece of tape is 8 inches up. That's the 8-inch section of the stalk that we want to sample. All right, so these stalks I've already collected. That 8-inch portion, starting 6 inches above the surface of the soil. We collect about a dozen, maybe 15 of those stalks, drop them into a tissue sample bag or a paper grocery bag, just not a plastic one. We don't want the moisture to build up and rot the samples. Send them off to your lab and grind them up and get the results. In general, we're shooting for roughly 1,000 part per million as a threshold. If we have nitrate levels that are higher than 1,000, that tells me I've optimized my nitrogen or have not shorted my plant, have not limited yield because of nitrogen. If we start getting less than 1,000 part per million, or certainly less than 500 part per million, that tells me that nitrogen was becoming a yield limiting factor for that field that year. So not only is it a good source to help analyze problem fields, the stalk nitrate test, but it's also a great way to scorecard yourself for your nitrogen management. Again, as harvest is progressing, we're looking at nitrogen fertilizer applications coming up soon. We know we want soil temperatures at least 50 degrees or colder to prevent any nitrification from happening this fall. And always as a reminder, especially this fall, it's looking warm. We want to get our nitrogen on. Don't forget about the stabilizer to help keep our nitrogen in the ammonium form, a form that sticks to the soil, does not leach, not only for environmental concerns, but also to make sure the money we invest in our fertilizer is still going to be there next spring and summer when our corn plant needs it. Thanks for tuning in. Happy sampling. We'll see you next time.